Adam Taxon, main administrator of the Daily Beck page on Facebook. Here's something from Hour 3 of Glenn Beck's Friday, May 4th, 2012 show related to open marriage, and they discuss it a bit, and it's related to Disney, and I use that term rather than ABC's 2020 because I think Disney should be mentioned when they try to be so family-oriented. But here are some discussions of the way they basically sugar-coated the concept of open marriage, and at times funny but sad discussion by Glenn, Stu, and Pat on the subject. And for the full discussion, you should subscribe at glennbeck.com or gbtv.com. All right, enjoy.
We have some video from ABC's 2020 that we have to play. It's on open marriage. And they don't seem to have a problem with open marriage at all on 2020. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I mean, the presentation of it was
disturbing.
I would say it was. It didn't seem like there was any negative presented that could possibly come out of this situation.
No.
I mean, they asked questions about it, but there wasn't a lot of follow up going on.
Well, let me ask you two prudes a question. What could go wrong?
With an open marriage?
What could go wrong?
That's a great point. You won me over.
Yeah. See, you hadn't considered it fully.
No, I
yet.
hadn't.
Here's cut one, and I want you to note the nice little music behind it. Here's cut one of the open marriage dating circle.
While most people wrestle with an eternal question, can one person really satisfy every need?
Idiots.
These couples think the answer is obvious.
Yeah.
In fact, they don't limit their open marriage to +1. It's more of a marital merry-go-round.
Hey, the fun music.
You already know that Sierra is married to Martin, but also dates Aaron.
Obviously. Okay.
And Martin is married to Sierra, but also dates Jay.
Why not?
Molly is married to David, but she also goes out with Mark. And David, who's Molly's husband, also dates Jay.
Well, that goes
yes,
without
the
saying.
same Jay, who's
obviously.
also romantically linked to Martin. But Martin's wife, Sierra, is also intimate with David's wife, Molly.
Why not?
And Sierra has another lover, Romy.
Obviously, Romy's
and Romy
in the
dates
picture.
Aaron, who, as we remember, is also seeing Sierra.
Oh, I didn't remember
Got that?
But yeah, sort of.
I do. I have that, and I don't think there's
There's nothing wrong with it.
Stu brought up a portion, where just a minute ago he said, they don't judge anything, and then Pat countered with what could go wrong.
I don't see anything.
I don't see anything.
Now that he
there.
puts it that way,
yeah,
I'm completely won over to this idea.
I'm happy to help whenever I can.
Well, actually, I have to admit this. I had a little bit of doubt until I heard how positive the music was behind that segment.
It's really kind of neat. Now, here's the deal. They point out that
it's like walking into a CVS or something. You just feel good.
The great thing is ABC is about to point out that the kids are actually better off.
Sure.
I think my kids' lives are better for this, honestly.
How so?
My kids have every advantage that they would have if Martin and I were monogamously married. They have a stable, loving home, and on top of that, this wonderful community around them, supporting each other and raising children in a way that I don't see outside of our community.
Right. I mean, you don't see that outside of the, community of
It's like you have this
adulterers and open marriage.
Can I tell you something? I have Tanya and I, we're raising our kids, but we're in a monogamous relationship, and there is. I know.
More on that. He's in a monogamous relationship.
But here's the thing: the kids don't have any outside influence except for us. None.
Right.
It's not like people are always at our house and always staying at our house.
That's what she's saying. They don't interact with anyone else.
It's not like there's people at church that we mingle with, and they go over and play at the kids' house. They're completely alone, trapped in the house with just a mom and a dad.
I know what you're doing here. You're trying to say that they interact with other adults. I get it's not the same, Glenn, when you're not sleeping with those adults. I mean, they're not waking up to a stranger at the breakfast table. That's way better.
Yeah, it's way better.
Like, who's this lovely person here that's having cereal with you, Dad? That's not my mommy. Oh, that's Buffy. You don't know Buffy?
The Vampire Slayer?
Yes,
See, you
could be
made
her,
this.
could be anybody. It doesn't matter.
Why do you have to go to Vampire Slayers?
See, Glenn, what you're not understanding is you sleep with your wife, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And your kids,
Much to her chagrin.
It's awful for her, but for your children, it's a positive. You have a loving relationship.
Uh-huh.
Now, what if you could just have multiple times that amount of love? See, that would benefit the kids that many more times. If you would just stop being so selfish in your monogamy, and you would instead
Wait a minute. I'm starting to come around to this. So it's selfish for me only to have sex with my wife.
Exactly.
Now you've got it. Right. Now you've got it.
See? You're helping
and the home is so much more stable when you got like 9 different people there waking up with them in the morning during the week.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
All right. Now let me go to clip C here. The little girl of an open marriage husband.
It's great for the parents, but what about the kids?
Great for the parents, by the
So,
way. Again, not question.
Do you guys think your family's any different from other families?
Not really.
Really?
I didn't know that we had my family had an open marriage until a few years ago.
What do you think that means?
That your parents or one of your parents is dating a different person that's not part of your family.
See how stable that is? That is awesome stability.
She's totally fine, and she didn't find out. She's 10, and she didn't find out until 3 years ago.
Yeah, just a few years ago. I mean,
5, 7,
whatever.
8.
Mommy is having sex with somebody else.
Now put the Wonder Pets back on. It was that sort of situation, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Mommy, who's that? And what is he doing to you? Honey, we have an open marriage.
Congratulations, you just found out.
What? What are you saying, Jeffy?
That's not what they said. They're not. The kids aren't involved.
What do you mean they're not
I didn't
involved?
say they were involved.
She knows about it, and she's enlightened by it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? She's not in the bedroom while this is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Although, why else would you tell your kid about it at 7? You got to imagine at some point he just walked in. There's just 19 people in the bed, and he's like, wow, I guess I got an open marriage. Well, thanks, guys.
Here's the tough questioning from ABC in 2020.
Okay, now we're getting to
the tough, hard hitting.
Okay.
What about the concern that some might have that kids might confuse open marriage with promiscuity? That they might be more apt.
You might confuse it with promiscuity.
What about-
You don't want to confuse it with that. You don't
with
want to.
adultery, promiscuity.
No, you don't.
Yeah, because kids are stupid. They might think that it's the same thing.
Helen, you're having sex with 6 different guys. What about the concern that you may look like you're a loose woman?
Right. There may be confusion there.
There
You
might
don't
be some
ever want that confusion to enter your child's mind
No.
because nothing could be further from the truth.
Oh, no. You're having sex with 6, 8, I don't know how many people right now. And that'll be a revolving door as the years go on. But what about the thought, crazy as it might be, that your kids might at some point go, Mom's a slut?
Mm-hmm. Now, the uptight in society might say that.
What about your kids thinking that Dad's a serial cheater?
I see there's confusion that could happen because, kids are stupid. Kids think Swiss cheese is made by laser guns. They're dumb. Okay? So we instead
Wait a minute, you're saying that Swiss cheese isn't made by laser guns?
No, it's made by blowtorches, mini blowtorches.
Okay, all right. Okay.
But that's
with mice.
With
mice, right?
mice with
Okay.
blowtorches.
All right,
Why do
good.
we have to explain this?
I don't know.
He's stupid, too.
Okay.
Some people just think that it might not be that the mice are using that melted cheese in their nachos in the little mice movies. But we all know better than that. Anyway, back to the confusion of kids that they might have that Mom and Dad are sluts.
To have more sex than they should.
Wait,
have
can
never
I hear
seen-
that whole question
the whole
again?
thing
You got to go back to the ABC News.
That they might be more apt to have more sex than they should.
I have never seen a kid whose parents were in an open marriage be at all promiscuous.
What I think these kids see is
She's never
lots
seen a
of stable
10-year-old
relationships with people who chose them consciously and happily.
The confusion of promiscuity does not lead to your 10-year-old being promiscuous. That's what she's learned here, and I think that's parenting. I've only had a kid for 8 months. I don't know these things yet. But when you have a 10-year-old and she's not promiscuous, your lifestyle is solid.
I think we need to look up the definition of stability and stable. Because like a revolving door of a whole bunch of people in and out doesn't seem like the very definition of stability.
Oh, I thought we were talking about mentally stable there. Because I don't know if anyone in this story, including Vargas,
ABC News,
fits the definition of stable.
By the way, the handling of it, I will say.
By the way, the viewing of America will be this evening.
Yeah.
At the funeral home starting at 7:30.
As the forecast for today is partly sunny with a chance of fire and brimstone.
I mean, if this isn't the death of everything that our country has ever stood for, we are normalizing Marxism to open marriages. You name it, everything that our country has ever stood for, gone. The blind guy in the embassy that in China that escaped, he's a dissident. He's being beaten. His family is being threatened. And the United States of America, he makes it to an embassy, and we're like, I tell you what, we're going to take you to the hospital real quick, and we're going to be with you the whole time. And then he gets out of the car, and you hear, and the United States peels out of the garage. I mean, it's incredible. Everything that we are is being fundamentally transformed.